Hi everyone. I'm talking about the questions I had this week and the answers I was able to come up with through the conversations with others in the class. The three questions I had was, what do I do when others don't value learning as highly as I do? How should I react when a student doesn't believe what I say is true and challenges me? How do I know when I should let others learn for themselves? Okay. So, I came up with I started with myself. So I value learning very highly. It's really important to me. I like to learn what I can work on and what I can do better. And what I can learn just through everyday life pretty much. Like at my job, I like to learn what things I can do to make that better. And just as an example. And others' desires to learn may not be as similar to mine. I've met people who don't really care to learn much, or they are similar to me where they do like to learn, or they're just over the top, just want to learn everything all the time. And I think any one of those is fine. But I do think learning is important in our lives. And so sometimes it's hard to get along with others who don't value learning. So helping others desire to learn their way. They need to be able to want to learn. We can't make them want to learn. I like this quote someone gave me. First, we can help them understand why we need to learn. And second, let them learn for themselves, as well as asking questions that challenge them. Allowing them to debate different ideas with you as well as other students will often wield the truth. Which I think is true, because when I start asking questions, then I start picking out, oh yeah, this makes sense and that makes sense. And then I get the truth out of it and I learn. And so I highly value that. I think that is a very good way to go about it. Another quote that I liked was Elder Benner said, "We might ask, when shall we cease to learn? I will give you, gosh darn it. I will give you my opinion, never, never." So my advice is to keep learning and let others reap the benefits of your diligence. Don't judge them too harshly, which is hard. It's hard to not judge others who aren't like us. It's human. Everyone does it. Some are better at not doing it than others. And that would be hard because you're doing the work and they're getting the benefits of it. And so that can be really difficult. But I understand that sometimes it's needed in order for them to grow enough to want to do it themselves. And then the challenging question, when someone wants to challenge me. You're wrong, that's not true. Or you get an argument of, I'm right, you're wrong. And those are really hard to get out of. And they're hard to just stay away from, I think, sometimes. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing when someone wants to challenge you, because then they're thinking about it. They're thinking about what you're saying, and they want to learn the truth. And then another person in class had said, you can give them your credibility. Like, how do you know this? Why should I believe you? Like, you're a teacher. Why should I believe you? Well, because I studied this in school. Or you could get other resources that have a higher credibility than you do, and then just kind of explain it and be factual, like this is this, and so forth. And then ask them to explain their reasoning, and maybe they won't be able to understand or figure out that their reasoning isn't very solid. And it also requires you to have your knowledge up to par. So you need to know what you're talking about if you're going to be challenged about it. That way you don't get caught with your pants down. Let others learn for themselves. You can't force it. That's sadly true, but others have to be willing to learn. And see why it's important to them. What's important to them. let them teach themselves by teaching others. That is so important. And that's the best way we learn, is that I try to learn something and I study it, and then I try to teach someone else, and then that helps me learn more and have a deeper, that concept is embedded deeper into my mind. And then unschooling. Unschooling is a really cool way to go about doing school, is that you let that child, whatever they're interested, you kind of base their schooling around what they're interested, and then that just builds upon that, and then just gets growing from what they like. And I think that's a great idea, because that's what learning is about, is just building that, and it's easier when you already have something. And so I hope this was able to kind of clear up my questions. It really helped me understand them better and the answers. I know it's a bit lengthy, sorry about that, but I hope you learned something as well.